dodgy land swap deals made under the Ministry of Defence involved the relocation of 4 army bases aimed at shoring up support for UMNO politicians. According to Mindef, which lodged a report with the MACC today, the move to relocate military voters was aimed at boosting the chances of 2 politicians in the past elections. The politicians are said to be Sembrong MP Datuk Seri Hishammuddin Hussein and Bagan Datuk MP Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. Mindef Special Officer Muhammad Nasasi Ismail says the ministry has proof of specific political orders and direct involvement from the Election Commission in moving and increasing the number of army voters and their families to the camps in those 2 parliamentary constituencies. The land swap deals allegedly resulted in the leakage of over 500 million ringgit in government funds. The Tun Razak Exchange project will take a long time to achieve full occupancy of its 2.65 million square foot office space, says real estate consultancy firm Jones Lang Wooten. The firm, which marketed the Petronas Twin Towers, points out that the second tower, with total space of 1.25 million square feet, took about a decade before it finally reached 90% take-up sometime in 2008. Noting the existing ample commercial space within the city centre when the TRX was planned years ago, the firm's executive director Malathi Thevendran says only 15% of TRX's office space has been committed so far. HSBC, Prudential and Affin Bank have pre-committed to taking up their respective portions of the development. And Malathi says this is the strategy to adopt instead of leaving the space to the open market. AMMB Holdings says third quarter earnings climbed by 59.8% to 349.87 million ringgit from a year ago, boosted by higher customer lending volume, lower cost base and increase in recoveries. Revenue rose 6.5% to 2.30 billion ringgit from 2.26 billion. For the 9-month period, the group's net profit grew 19% to 1.05 billion ringgit, while top line saw a 6.6% improvement to 6.79 billion ringgit. AmBank Group CEO Datuk Sulaiman Muhammad Tahir says the results demonstrate that the banking group's strategies, which have been put in place over the last couple of years, are bearing fruit on its bottom line and its businesses. He adds that the lender is ramping up the digitization of its financial services and will continue to introduce other value-added features into its online banking platform and provide a more efficient online banking experience. Sime Darby saw second quarter net profit inch up by 3.9% to 317 million ringgit, driven by better performance in its industrial and motors division. However, minus the profit from discontinued operations and deconsolidated plantation and property business, earnings more than quadrupled from 72 million ringgit. Quarterly revenue grew 6.9% to 9.4 billion ringgit. The group has declared a dividend of 2 cents per share. For the first half of FY19, net profit fell 66.6% to 542 million ringgit. As far as continuing operations are concerned, Sime Darby's net profit was actually up by 69.4%. Moving forward, it expects the industrials division to be supported by growth in Australia, which could compensate for the possible slowdown in Chinese demand in light of the trade war. Meanwhile, the motors division is expected to face strong competition and possibly pressure in demand amid an expected slowdown in economic growth. Prominent UMNO lawyer Datuk Hafarizam Harun has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of money laundering totaling 15 million ringgit. Hafarizam is accused of engaging directly in transactions that involved proceeds of unlawful activity by depositing the sum from former PM Datuk Seri Najib Razak's account into the client's accounts of Hafarizam's firm in 3 separate occasions in 2014 and 2015. If found guilty, he may be imprisoned for up to 15 years and fined not less than 5 times the sum of the proceeds of the unlawful activity or 5 million ringgit, whichever is higher. The KL Sessions Court allowed bail at 500,000 ringgit with 1 surety and ordered Hafarizam to surrender his passport. The case is set for mention on March 25th. Hafarizam is a member of the UMNO Disciplinary Board. He has represented Najib in several civil cases.